Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Hey, what up? Happy Tuesday to you all. I hope you all having a wonderful day. This is another live edition of the Raw Rundown here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. I hope my microphone now is acting better. I hope it's acting good. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can. I'm even going to check the playback just to be on the safe side of things here, because I know yesterday there was a little technical issues on multiple ends, on my microphone, on my computer. So what I'm going to do right now is check back the play the playback if I can, to see if if I can be heard correctly and stuff like that. But I hope all of you are having a good day. I hope all of you are enjoying whatever it is you're doing right now. Hopefully you're tuning in right now to the Raw Rundown. But let me just have a listen here. I can hear myself, bro. We're good, bro. We're Gucci. We're chilling, y'all. We chilling. What up, y'all? Holy crap. Let me get this graphic out of here. Javier, Javier was a little bit of a rush. I can tell. I can tell when Javier, my quote-unquote graphic designer, my cousin in Peru, who does all these stuff, I can tell when he's in a bit of a rush here. I can tell. But what's up, everyone? As always, it is me. It is Steve. I hope you all are doing good. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Share it throughout all your social media platforms and all that fun stuff. We're also live over on Kick as well, for those of you that listen on Kick streaming. Just to let you guys know that we're live there too. All right, but yeah, Raw last night, Monday Night Raw, the May 12th edition of Monday Night Raw. Overall, thought it was a pretty fun show, to be honest. This was the post-Backlash show. I like the fact that we got some matches announced for Saturday night's main event, because we already know, look, man, we already know what's happening. You guys know me. You know how I'm down, bro. I am down for my guy, bro. I'm only gonna be supportive of my of arguably the greatest prodigy in the game, yo. Arguably the best pound for pound pro wrestler on the planet, yo. That's right, my guy, the Maverick, yo, Logan Paul, is gonna bring home that world heavyweight title, man. It's happening. Saturday night's main event. It's going down. Logan Paul finally getting what he rightfully deserves. He's worked so hard for this. A shot at the world heavyweight title, and taking it away from the soon-to-be transitional champion, Jey Uso. And I can see it now, bro. I can see it now. The IWC, yeah, they're going to be, crying like La Chilindrina. But this is what's going to be, Logan Paul to the IWC the night he wins that world heavyweight title from Jey Uso at Saturday night's main event.
It sounds like all those people booing right now got a lot of tears coming down their eyes. I see you guys with watery eyes right now.
Not telling no lies, bro. Not telling no lies. And let's be honest right now, Logan Paul has a lot of momentum going into this, man. He has a lot of momentum. A lot of momentum on Logan Paul right now. Beat AJ Styles. He's on a roll, man. And he's got the upper hand on Jey Uso. But I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see the Maverick, yo. It's gonna be crazy up in here, man. It's gonna be crazy. Can't wait, man. Cannot wait. But overall, look, seriously, I thought Raw was pretty good, pretty fun for the most part. Like I mentioned before, they added to matches to the show, that being Saturday night's main event. And they also announced a future world title match down the road for June 9th, which we'll get into as well. But they also added this for Saturday night's main event in Tampa. It's going to be Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker going up against Sami Zayn and CM Punk in a tag team match, which we'll get into also in a little bit here. But chime in with your thoughts on Raw. What did you like overall? What did you not like? What's going on, J Mac? And I never tell lies, brother. Never tell lies here. No lies told here, brother. Just so you know. But let me know what you liked from Raw. What did you not like and all that fun stuff. But the show, obviously kicked off with the tribute to Sabu. As you guys know, Sabu passed away on Mother's Day Sunday. And it's good to see everyone from the wrestling world, all these promotions, showing love, which I thought was pretty good to see. So there was that. And they also mentioned it on commentary later on in the night. But the show opened up with CM Punk because they were live in Louisville, Kentucky. They were live in Louisville, Kentucky from the KFC Yum Center. The KFC Yum Center, which, by the way, per cage match, they gave the show an 8.10. So that tells you, most people enjoyed the show for the most part, even though cage match is mostly the work rate, if you get what I'm saying. But the show kicked off with CM Punk, and he addressed the crowd in Louisville. The same Louisville that he thanked in London when he found out he was going to be main eventing at WrestleMania for the first time in his career, saying that he is very upset. But the one person that he's most upset with was himself. That's right. He was upset with himself because he and Paul Heyman have been down this road before. If you guys remember back in 2013, Money in the Bank, CM Punk was climbing that ladder, right? Trying to grab the briefcase before Orton obviously took the briefcase. Paul Heyman threw a ladder in the back of CM Punk as Punk was climbing the ladder. So obviously, for CM Punk, he should have saw this coming, right? But he said he thought they'd grown as people. They moved on from it. And Heyman then interrupted him while it seemed like he was gonna walk down by himself. Out of nowhere, we saw Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, and Rollins obviously called Punk selfish and said that he had a victim complex before he was sending Braun Breaker to the ring to fight Punk. And also factor in this thing too, Punk did say to Seth Rollins, you're a theme song, but then the bell has to ring. And I also love the line of Cry Me a River. I caught that. I ain't slick. I caught that line. I did. I caught that line. I'm just saying. But then after this, Breaker hit the ring and Punk was basically outnumbered, but eventually he fought back, right? And then Sami Zayn showed up, and again, they had the upper hand, right? And then out of nowhere, Jey Uso showed up because, again, keep in mind too, Rollins is upset with CM Punk because Rollins almost won the world title in his eyes, right? But obviously, Jey Uso showed up, and obviously losing the numbers advantage, Rollins and company basically dipped. They left the ring. And yes, I did catch that, Jay. I did catch that. Punk called him Penguin too. Yes, indeed. So there was that also. But overall, I thought the opening segment was a good one for the most part. I did enjoy, the back and forth. And because of all this, look, man, we are getting the match at Saturday night's main event. It will be Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker going in a tag team match, teaming up to go up against Sami Zayn and CM Punk, which should be a fun match for the most part. I do think, though, Rollins and Breaker do get the win. Still, I still think they get the win. So we'll see how that goes. They showed a video package recapping El Grande Americano costing Penta the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash. And because of this, we got literally Penta versus Chad Gable in a one-on-one match. But before all this, we saw Pat McAfee, who was not at ringside with Cole at the beginning of the show, literally made a big entrance, right? Got a big ovation, right? And all that stuff. And rightfully so. And again, like you would think, my only critique is I really wish Pat McAfee sold a little more. That's just me, but hey, it is what it is. We did get Penta versus Chad Gable. Overall, I thought the match for what it was. Look, I thought it was a fun opener. I loved how Michael Cole still thinks Chad Gable is El Grande Americano. And Pat McAfee goes, no, he's not. He's not El Grande Americano. He's not El Grande Americano. What are you talking about? But for the most part, you know, again, it was one of those things where for Chad Gable, the thing is he's still obsessed with luchadors. He can't beat them. And the match was going good for the most part. It was good back and forth. And Penta ended up getting the win with the Mexican Destroyer. After this, we did see the Judgment Day in their clubhouse where Finn Balor was talking to JD McDonough while Carlito was trying to convince Raquel Rodriguez that they can hang out more. Even offered to go out with her and be so gracious as to let her pay. Must be nice, bro. Must be fucking nice. I wish. Holy shit, I wish. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine going on a date with a chick, yo? And she's like, I got this. Look, if that ever happens, bro, I'm just saying right now, if I go on a date with a chick, yo, and she decides to pay, bust out the bill, all I'm going to say is,
let's fucking go.
I'm kidding. No. Look, never let a woman pay the bill. As a man, you should always be the one to pay. Now, unless you want to go 50-50, by all means, but nah, come on, nah. But basically, Dominic was walking into the frame on the phone with Liv Morgan, and he tells everyone her movie is going great, but he's also confused with time zones. Yeah, he's confused with time zones. How is that even possible? Right? And Mysterio, that being Dom, talks to Finn about hesitating to help him at Backlash. And then Finn accuses Dom of getting paranoid like Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest when they were singles champions, and he promised to take care of AJ Styles for him and left to go get ready. And then it's funny because at the end of the thing, you saw the rest of the group trying to explain to Dominic Mysterio how time zones work. So they had like a little they had the light and something to show like, yeah, right now this is where we're at, and this is China and or Japan, wherever it was. Very funny. It's like trying to imagine if Dom doesn't know about the birds and the bees. I'm just saying it'd be fucking hilarious if he doesn't know what the fuck the bird and in the bees is. Yeah, exactly, Jim. Like, never let them pay. Never let them pay. But there was that. Again, I thought that segment was funny for the most part. But again, you're still seeing like Finn Balor, like low key, like he's not happy with this idea that Dom is this champion, that it should be him, right? It should be him, and it's not, right? And it's really, really like it's getting to him. But he had to play a poker face, like, because Dom asked him, hey, can you take care of AJ for me? Oh, why do I got to do it? And shit like that. But I thought it was funny for the most part. Then they recapped Pat McAfee and Gunther, and McAfee says that he's still bruised from the match. He even popped a blood vessel in his eye, and he says that he has even more respect for Gunther now than he did before. So that's cool to see. Like, there's still that camaraderie, that respect. It's like, I want to believe, like, oh, if you ever been in a fight with somebody, whether it be over some petty shit, like, you know, like back in the day when you were in school, you will fight someone after school, whatever it may be, right? After it's over, you squash it. Like, yo, I'm cool with you. I respect you. Even if I won or I lost, I'll have respect for you. And then you move on. You know what I mean? That's what I got from that, which was cool to see. We did get after the Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, who are at ringside while on commentary. They will watch the next match between the War Raiders of Eric and Ivar versus American Made. And obviously, throughout this whole thing, they officially announced, that it will be Sami Zayn and CM Punk against Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. I already showed the graphic for them moments ago on the stream, but I'll show it again for those of you that are probably tuning in right now or watching later, whatever the fuck it may be. And you see Punk and Zayn are briefly shown in the locker room talking about the match. Punk says that he's having a hard time trusting people right now. And Zayn says he understands that because he had a hard time trusting Punk back at Survivor Series, but it worked out well for them. And they both agree that they won't be able to accomplish anything individually until Seth Rollins' coalition is out of their way. Can we just call them division? Even though I said this before, I said this before, they don't, for them to be a whole faction, you need more people, right? But just to call it division, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, kind of wish, hey, give them a name. You know what I mean? Give them a name for the most part. So there was that. We did get, obviously, American Made versus the War Raiders. And overall, I thought the match, for the most part, it was a very, very solid match. I'm going to go crazy about here. But we did have, obviously, Xavier Woods and Kofi getting involved, distracting the War Raiders and leading to the Creed brothers picking up the win. And there's a moment where obviously they did that double team finish, right? The Creed brothers did that double team finish where they set up for the Tower of Doom, I think it was, right? Or the Doomsday device. And I think it's Brutus who does like a cannonball off the top rope. It's fucking crazy to see. But after this, though, we did see Seth Rollins talking to Braun backstage, and he says that CM Punk and Zayn probably think they have them on the ropes, but they're one step ahead. And Rollins also whispers something to Braun Breaker's to do something. Basically, he whispered into Braun Breaker's ear and told him to do something before the night ends and tell him to have fun, right? Which we found out what it was later on in the night. We'll get into that in a bit here as well. From there, we see Adam Pearce informing Jey Uso something, and he says he'll hear it later in the night, but he wants Uso to hear it first. So there was that. Now, this part right here was on the international feed. So if you have Netflix on VPN, or you watch it, if you live across the pond or somewhere outside the US, and you happen to have, what's it called? You happen to have you happen to have a VPN where you could watch it, from here in the States and pretend that you're somewhere else. You might have saw, that they set up a match for next week between Sheamus and Grayson Waller during the commercial break, where Kathy Kelly interviewed A-Town Down Under, and during an international, obviously exclusive clip, Waller tried to say that he got Austin Theory a rematch with Sheamus for next week, but Theory was one step ahead of him and said that he also spoke to Adam Pearce. It made it so that Waller will be the one fighting Sheamus next week. So basically, yeah, Austin Theory won up Grayson Waller. Like, nah, look, I did it. Look, I am not going through this again. I faced him last week, and it did not go well for me. So now it's your turn. Your turn to face Sheamus, which we found out later on in the night when Sheamus was in the office of Adam Pearce, and he's itching for his comeback. It's gonna go down next week on Monday Night Raw. It will be Sheamus versus Grayson Waller. So that should be a fun one for the most part. We did see after this Jey Uso, he came out to address everything that he's got going on, including, my guy, the Maverick, Logan Paul, the soon-to-be new World Heavyweight Champion. And the match that's happening is Saturday night's main event. Look at this beautiful graphic. Just give him the title. Give my guy, Logan Paul, the Maverick, the pride of Puerto Rico in Cleveland, Ohio. Give him the title. Just do it. It's Jover. All right. Uso was cutting a promo on Logan, and then he got interrupted by Gunther. Gunther, yes, the former world champion, and Gunther announced that he will challenge the winner of the match between Logan and Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship on the episode of Monday Night Raw after Money in the Bank on June 9th from Phoenix. And he says that he hopes he ends up facing Uso, that being Jey, so he can remind him of his place. And Uso says that he knows his place and he will walk out of Phoenix with the World Heavyweight title. I like their back and forth because it's like, look, yeah, obviously Jey Uso made Gunther tap out at WrestleMania. And the rematch was coming, right? You know what was going to happen, right? It was bound to happen. My thing is, though, why I can understand maybe why on an episode of Raw after Money in the Bank, because I think what's going on now is for them on these PLEs, you don't need both world titles defended. And obviously, being that we're on Cena's retirement tour, Cena's going to get most of the attention on these PLEs, considering Money in the Bank, and also factor in the ladder match. That's the sell point of Money in the Bank. So, yeah, you need something for the Raw after. So I can understand that for the most part. So, look, you already know my stance. I'm going with the Maverick, but on a serious note, if I can be serious, likely, yeah, look, Logan Paul is not going to be Jey Uso. Jey Uso is going to walk into Phoenix and probably retain the title. Retain it. I just don't. I think the person, if I can be serious, that's going to beat Jey Uso will be probably Seth Rollins. So there's that. They showed a tribute to Sabu, which I mentioned earlier. Very good to see. During the commercial break, they announced that it would be the War Raiders versus American Made and the New Day for the World Tag Team Championships. The War Raiders were in Adam Pearce's office complaining about how they lost their match early in the night, and the New Day came in to make fun of them, and then Pearce said the referee decision is final and that it would be the Creed brothers challenging for the World Tag Team Championships. However, because Kofi and Xavier are so much of a pain, Pearce said that he will add Eric and Ivar to the match. They did not announce when the match would take place. Just keep that in mind. It was not announced. But also, we saw backstage, they were interviewing Ludwig Kaiser. And Jackie Redmond asked him, "Hey, how come you've not been around on TV? How come you haven't been on TV you haven't been on television? What's going on?" And before he could even answer, we saw Braun Breaker attacking Jey Uso. He attacked him. That was basically what Rollins told Braun Breaker to do before the night was over. Beat up on Jey Uso. Lay him out. And as a result of that, it's going to go down next Monday on Monday Night Raw. Jey Uso, the World Heavyweight Champion, going one-on-one with the badass Braun Breaker. Look, they've had bangers before. No doubt in my mind, this will be another fucking banger. No fucking doubt about it. All right. After this, we did get AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. I thought this was a very, very good match. This match went about almost 17 minutes. And of course, because it's AJ Styles and Finn Balor, they did reference the fact that, hey, Michael Cole said this is the fourth time they're going at it. Both men were leaders of the Bullet Club. And obviously, you even had Pat McAfee referencing Too Sweet. And the match was a very good back and forth match. It really, really was. And somewhere in this match, again, you had Finn Balor with JD McDonough and Carlito, and they were trying to, get involved in the match. And just when it seemed like it was going to go their way, Penta appeared to even the odds. And then AJ basically took advantage of it because Penta took out the members of the Judgment Day and, JD McDonough and Carlito. He hit Carlito with the Mexican Destroyer. And this led for AJ to hit the phenomenal forearm on Finn Balor for the 1, 2, 3. So we're going to eventually see Finn Balor lose it because nothing is going his way. Nothing is going his way. And real soon he'll be fed up. But because of all this, next week on Monday Night Raw, where's the graphic for this? Where's the graphic? Here it is. It will be AJ Styles and Penta versus the Judgment Day of Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Should be a fun tag team match. I think this is the first time, correct me, obviously it has to be the first time, that AJ and Penta are teaming up together, so that should be fun. We did get Becky Lynch showing up after this, right? And she addressed losing to Lyra Valkyria and attacking her after the match at Backlash. She says that she walked away from WWE for almost a year because fans asked her to. She says that she's heard the comments when she's won the Women's World Championship last year. I believe that's when she won the Battle Royal, when Rhea had to vacate. I believe that's what she was referring to. She said that, she basically said she had a friend that asked her if she misses wrestling while being away, and she admitted that she did. But she liked herself more away from the mental grip of the audience. Now, whatever anyone says about her, that she will lean into it, and the rest of the women's locker room will find out what it's like to be held down by the man. She even referenced, the way I am, that she is whatever. She basically said, I am whatever you say I am, basically referencing everything that people are saying about her. That's what she is. Thought it was a very good promo. Because she let out what she felt, what people have been saying about her since returning, all the Becky Hogan lines and shit. I was cool with it. From here, we saw a Rusev vignette in which he says that it hurt him to do what he did to Otis, but lesser individuals once held him back. He thinks it will hurt him to continue hurting his brothers, but it will save them from falling into the abyss. In other words, falling into AEW, I guess. From there, we did see Tozawa. He was in Adam Pearce's office, and he wants a match with Rusev, but Adam informs him that Tozawa is sidelined. He's not cleared, and that they will consider a match between him and Rusev once he's cleared to compete. And obviously, I mentioned this earlier, but, we saw Sheamus. It's official that next week it will be Sheamus versus Grayson Waller going at it. And we did see, Sheamus in the office with Adam Pearce, happy to be back, and he requested this match. So that's what happened, right, for next week. Then we got the main event. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez and Julia. Holy crap, bro. Like, Roxanne Perez and Julia were officially on the main roster, the Raw after Mania, right? And now here they are a couple weeks later, and now they're main eventing Monday Night Raw. Good for them. Good for them. I thought the match was pretty good for the most part. The good back and forth. I did like the exchanges between Julia and Io Sky. I liked that. I liked what was it? Rhea selling her leg as well. I think it was Rhea for the most part. And there was that whole thing near the end, the miscommunication, where Roxanne hit Julia off a dive, and that led to Julia getting pinned by Rhea Ripley by the Riptide for the 1, 2, 3. But overall, a very good match. At the end of the match, you see Rhea Ripley and Io celebrating, but you see you see Rhea looking at Io's women's world title. We know where this is going. She wants another shot at the title. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I would love to see a Rhea Ripley and I guess Julia program. I know like they're teaming, it's an attack team, but one-on-one before we get to that. But that's just me. Okay. But overall, look, I thought Raw was a very, very, very fun show for the most part. Again, they added matches to Saturday night's main event. Like they just added the tag team match between Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn and CM Punk. Obviously, you already know this is going to go down to Jey Uso versus Logan Paul, the soon-to-be new World Heavyweight Champion. Matches for next week's Raw is Grayson Waller versus Sheamus. You're going to also have Jey Uso, the World Heavyweight Champion, versus Braun Breaker. And also, you're going to have AJ and Penta teaming up for the first time to go up against the Judgment Day of Finn Balor and JD McDonough. That should be fun for the most part. If you have not checked out Steve's Kitchen from yesterday, I gave my thoughts on Backlash. Everything that happened at Backlash. I even gave my thoughts on the whole Javon Evans and Ricochet situation regarding did Javon Evans burn bridges and stuff like that. I know today is better because my computer's working, right? And I'm not on my phone. I'm not on the, on that StreamYard, but it was good to know that my computer is fucking working again for now. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you all for watching. Much love to all of you. All right. Once again, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this a big old thumbs up. Share it through social media. All right. Likely tomorrow, there will not be a something about Dynamite, the AEW Dynamite watch party. Being that tomorrow is game 5 between the Knicks and the Celtics. And Knicks are 1 game away from entering the Eastern Conference Finals. So, yeah, you know where I stand with that. So, because of that, there will not be a sad something about Dynamite tomorrow. We hope y'all understand, okay? But that's going to be it for me, guys. Much love to all of you, all right? Again, check out Steve's Kitchen, all right, if you haven't already. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Follow the Around the Point Network over on X at HC Point Network. Follow me on X at Heel Steven. And, yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching. Much love to all of you. And, yeah. Where's that at? Here you go. For myself and for the gang, this has been the Raw Rundown here on the Around the Point Network. Peace out, y'all.